Well, this is an amazing bag. It is good looking to some degree, or for some. It is a great unisex option. It is well made. It has lots of capacity. There is still something where I would say I'm not going to use this, and especially not for my next everyday carry video. You know, usually I have these sling bags in my everyday carry videos, but this time I'm not going to stick around for this bag that long. But again, this is a great bag. Maybe stick around to find out why I'm not going to use this for a whole month. Alright, before I go into what's good and what's bad about this bag, let's cover everything that I put inside this bag. In the front bag, I always keep some fresh doggy bags when I'm walking my dog, have them accessible very easily without kind of compromising any of my other items, meaning not necessarily that they get dirty, but I don't want to like quickly pull out a fresh doggy bag and then accidentally let my wallet fly somewhere. So in that front quick access pocket, I have the fresh doggy bags. Inside the main compartment, you have a couple of slots. In the back slot that is a little bit more protected, and that potentially, I don't have an iPad mini to test this, but I think that is the case for protecting some, let's say, technical flat items. I have my Samsung Fold 5, love this phone, great phone, store it in there. You have a zippered pocket here that I don't utilize, but in order to keep my phone safe, I don't put anything in there. I could put some soft items in there, but I opted not to have anything in there. Then in the front main compartment, that is basically the biggest compartment, I have an energy bar because I'm going to boxing training now. My Extra Wallet Pro, love this wallet. I'm doing a long-term test with this red leather because I want to see how this will patina over time. So don't forget to subscribe so you will see my long-term review of this Extra Wallet Pro in the future. And then I have my earbuds of choice, the Ace Fast, Ace Fit open ear earbuds. Love these earbuds. By the way, I will link all of these items in the description below. Those are affiliate links. With those you won't pay more, but you will support this channel with a small kickback of that sale. And if you do so, thank you very much. Then I have the case for my DJI Pocket 3. Obviously, my DJI Pocket 3 is filming me at the moment, so it's not in here, but that fits perfectly inside as well. Usually, because there is so much space, I also have my Anbernic RG35XX Plus retro gaming device. Yes, I'm over 40, but hey, if it's fun, why should you use it, right? And if you like retro gaming as well, click the like button. Overall, if you enjoy this video, don't forget the like button, because I've just learned that that actually helps the algorithm of this video, and maybe you can help me out a little bit. So don't forget to push that like button. Then at the bottom, although this is not in danger of anything kind of getting bumped or destroyed by falling down, I have a neck buff because it is August. To be exact, the 5th of August, but actually the temperature is down to 13 degrees. So it's basically autumn, almost winter weather. It's crazy. The weather is really crazy. So I have that at the bottom just to be safe if it gets cold. Then I have the Nitecore NB-Air 5000 mAh power bank. Love this because this is very flat, so very packable, but still gives me enough juice to kind of top off my phone, together with the USB-C to USB-C Nitecore cable. Have that in one of these slots to organize everything. Then for my glasses, I have some fiber cloth and some lip balm, and usually I also have hand lotion, but I kind of forgot to put it in here. That's basically everything that I have inside this bag. All right, just got out of the gym and I'm stuck in traffic jam, but I was able to record a small little daily vlog. Don't forget to check out my second channel at -2, where I record these daily vlogs. And yeah, let's talk a little bit about why I'm not, I don't know, I really was considering to use this until I am recording my monthly everyday carry video that usually incorporates a sling bag. And while this sling bag is amazing, it is a great sling bag, I honestly don't have that much negative to say about this sling bag. Let's start with the negative, then I give you the positives, and then the verdict why I don't really enjoy using this bag. First and foremost, the bag is in this white or bright color with this yellow shoulder strap and yellow applications. I love colored bags, do not get me wrong. I think this bag looks amazing, and actually I intentionally chose this color, and honestly I always would choose a bright color. I am actually pretty bored of black bags. However, this fabric does kind of pick up some scuff marks and gets dirty, and it's not as easy to wipe off these stains. That is actually something that I don't really like. So that is a downside that you do need to keep in mind. Obviously they have some other colors, you don't need to get this bright color, but yeah, I'm not a big fan. Next up, while I do appreciate that you can fit a lot of items inside, and the form factor kind of reminds me of this Reworks Toshi sling bag, I feel like the Toshi sling bag was much better in terms of the layout and the look. I don't know, the Toshi did look a little bit cooler in a way. This, I don't know, for some reason when I wear this bag, I feel like I kind of look like a school child wearing this little sling bag. I honestly can't put my finger on why that is, why I perceive it that way. It just, the look that isn't working for me. It's not a negative. This is a big subjective thing, and I don't want to call this a negative, but it is something that I just wanted to mention while we are talking about the material and the look. Next up, I like the slots and the organization inside the bag. However, these small little organizational slots, none of them has a zipper where it kind of helps you to prevent items from kind of jumping out. And more importantly, I have a hard time properly utilizing them because they are so slim that I can only fit like very small items or the Nitecore NB Air power bank. But my wallet, for example, the XL wallet, which is also very slim, doesn't fit into those slots. It's not a big deal, but I would have loved that these slots would be a little bit easier to utilize and would not force me to adapt my packing style. So that is definitely something that I don't really like. There is a zippered pocket in that kind of tablet-like slot in the back. But if you consider that a tablet slot or a slot for my phone, I honestly don't want to utilize that back zippered pocket for any items that potentially could kind of create pressure points against my display, scratch up my display in any shape or form. So that pocket maybe only is useful for items that you want to store securely, for example a passport. So I can totally see this as a perfect travel bag, to which I will get in a second. Next up is the shoulder strap. The shoulder strap looks amazing. It's a really cool shoulder strap. I like the color. However, it's slightly too thin that once you kind of load up this bag completely, it obviously due to the volumetric size, it becomes a little bit heavier. And when the shoulder strap, and this is, I mean, only by a couple of millimeters in width, would help to kind of distribute the weight a little bit better on my collarbone and not have it dig so much into my shoulder. So I would have loved if that shoulder strap would be a little bit wider. Also, the shoulder strap is very slippery, so this sling bag always slides underneath my armpit. But just like as the alpaca flight sling, it is very slim in form factor due to its rectangular shape. It is not that noticeable underneath my armpits, but I still want to mention it will always slide underneath your armpit. It is a little bit annoying. It doesn't stay in place, at least. Next up, this shoulder strap does not have a buckle. So you always need to kind of sling it over your head. And what I noticed is I was never really aware of that this is something that I actually needed. I always thought about, yeah, the buckle is cool and I like to utilize it, but I never thought about it to be that important. But while it is August here in Germany, right now we have a temperature of 13 degrees Celsius, and it has been raining for the last 3 weeks. So I always had a rain jacket on with a hood. When you wear a sling bag that doesn't have a buckle and you need to kind of put that sling bag over your head, your hood always gets in the way and you suddenly need to fiddle around with your hood just to get it off from underneath that shoulder strap. That is really annoying. When you have a buckle, you can actually easily circumvent kind of folding over that hoodie and kind of very naturally, organically put it over your shoulder, then close the buckle and not have the hood in your way. I've never noticed that benefit when having a sling bag with a buckle, but now having a sling bag without a buckle, I painfully noticed that having a buckle is very important. But this brings me to a very positive part of this shoulder strap and how I personally consider this sling bag and who this sling bag will be for. Because there is no buckle, this is actually an amazing travel sling bag, because no one can just open up your sling bag from behind, then grab the sling bag and run away. Yes, they can still cut it off, but I feel like at least no one will just open up the buckle and then run away with your sling bag. So that is a huge benefit for travel purposes. Next up, the layout, everything that you couldn't put inside. This has a lot of space, and the secure zippered pocket close to the iPad Pocket. As I said, I wouldn't utilize it for hard items, but it's perfect for your passport to keep your valuables securely tucked away. So for that, it is amazing. Again, you can fit a lot of items inside. I don't want to fault this bag in terms of construction. This construction is great. It's definitely not the best that I've seen, but it's still good in terms of construction and choice of materials, despite the fact that this bright fabric is a little bit difficult to keep clean. But if you take the black version or a darker color, then you won't notice any stains that easily. And I feel like I'm actually one of the very few people who would actually choose this bright color for a sling bag, so that might not be your issue. Next up, if you don't load it up that fully, I know that I loaded up with so many items like a retro gaming device, a power bank and a Pocket 3. Obviously a bag will get a little bit heavier, but I will acknowledge that not everyone will utilize or load it up with so many items. So in terms of comfortability, you probably won't have that many issues with this bag and being too heavy. So I would say it is comfortable as long as you don't kind of overload it like I do.
Alright, let's go to the verdict of this sling bag. While the look isn't for me, I still think that this is good looking. The build quality, meaning the stitches, the choice of materials, the YKK zippers are all great. So I cannot fault the bag for its construction, its choice of materials, its durability. But what I can say to you is, to summarize some of the negatives, I just don't feel like this looks great on me. So I would rather use, for example, as an alternative, the reworks Toshi sling bag, which has a very similar form factor, or for example the Alpaca flight sling, which is a little bit smaller but much better looking in my humble opinion. But again, this fits a lot of items, so it is a really cool bag. Furthermore, I don't like the shoulder straps because there is no buckle to get it a little bit easier onto my body. The shoulder strap is also very slippery, so it slides underneath my armpits, which in combination with everything that you can fit inside is, yeah, I'm right in the middle. On one hand, I would say the layout of this, when everything is inside, it is okay, you don't necessarily feel it that much, but there are other sling bags that are much better in that regard. So I would have loved if this wouldn't be as slippery and the bag would stay a little bit better in front of of my body. So long story short, for me personally, this isn't it. I wouldn't use this. I would rather take the Reworks Toshi sling bag, for example, or the sling bag that I have been reviewing I think 2 months ago, which was the Orbit key sling bag. I really like that. I probably will go back to that sling bag after using this. But I would say if you are looking for an alternative to belt wrap bag and you want maybe a sling bag that is really good for traveling just because you can fit a lot of items in here, it has a fairly secure shoulder strap because no one can kind of open the buckle and then pickpocket your sling bag. I think this is a really good choice. For everyone else who are looking for an alternative, I would say take a look at the Toshi sling bag or the Alpaca sling bag. But yeah, what do you think about this bag? What do you think about the look? I would really like to know. Yeah, I don't vibe with this look, to be honest. And yeah, again, if you still consider getting this bag or any of the other items, I have affiliate links in the description below. With those you won't pay more, but you will support this channel with a small kickback of that sale. And if you enjoyed this video, please also click the like button because that actually helps out the video quite a lot. And if you want to see last month's sling bag, which was the Grams 28, watch the video up here. YouTube thinks that you like the video down here, and don't forget to subscribe by clicking the button up here. I see you in the next video. Thank you very much.